Hey yo, this is Curtis and I'm talking to you on the computer and I'm not any happier about that than you are. But if you would, this is something that I've been thinking about and I was wondering what you guys thought about it. People like truth. Like people think that truth is pretty hip. Like if you tell the truth, that's a hip thing to do. And if you are looking for the truth, the truth is out there, you're kind of a rock star. But what about this? Oh, did you hear? Jamie McBlanderflon and Joey McBlanderflon were having some marital troubles. Trouble in paradise, I hear. So say they actually were. Do we call that the truth? No, I mean, we call that gossip over some great tea. It's a dysfunction. But it may be the truth, right? Another example. Oh, you got a new job for $29,000 a year, huh? Pfft, I make 50. It's accurate. It's totally the truth, but I think anyone would be like, duh, shut up, Hey, I just wanted to let you know that as you were walking in, I just kind of really thought, man, you don't look very physically attractive at all. That could be true. Any of these could be absolutely true. But nobody would be like, wow, way to speak your truth to somebody when they said that. Even though it's technically accurate, you can just feel that it's some kind of distortion of the system. There's just kind of this thing, I think, inside of us that's like, wait. You're not using it right. You can tell that the energy behind that, the person who wants to gossip about somebody or who wants to, lord their salary over somebody else, the energy behind that wouldn't care about the truth. It just happens to line up with what they want. They would be just as happy lying. Truth hurts, man. Is usually, my gut is it's a cover for I want to hurt you, man, and I have diplomatic immunity because I happen to be aligned with the truth at this point. So what do? How do you keep this thing seeking the truth, telling the truth, this truth thing that inspires people and helps keep society together in so many ways, but yet avoid these seeming abuses of truth, and which happen on big scales all the time. I don't want to pick on politics again, but it spirals into these attack ads, which may be saying some truthful things, but they're just bringing them up out of context. Or you'll get policymakers who have been given donations from a certain corporate lobby, and they will cite only scientific facts that back up what their sponsors want, and they won't do others. So how do you do that? How do we keep truth around but prevent these little travesties? And I think that naming it something different matters. What if you just consistently called it something like fact bending? Like, that's not true. Yeah, it's accurate. That's just fact bending. But where would you make that distinction? What's the line on this side it's true, this side it's fact bending? It can't be just about accuracy, because if it's accurate, it's true, like in this sense of truth, then you run into all the problems we were talking about before. I don't know, but I have a suggestion. I think it should have to do with intent. If you're using truth to be a jerk, then you lose your truth label, all right? You're just bending facts then, but if you're using the truth to be cool, well then thanks for speaking your truth, dude.
Sorry to keep bringing up how I beat you so bad in basketball last week, but it's just the truth.
No, you're just fact-bending.
Okay, listen pretty closely, because we've now gotten to the secret intent behind this whole video. You may have been asking yourself, where was I going with that? Why bring it up? What's the point? Am I just giving like a mini moral lecture? No, the reason is that way more than any politicians or any person-to-person contact, anyone's using this fact bending to take the truth and use it to harm people, is our brains do it to us. Our minds do it to us. That's the only language that your mind speaks a lot of the time. I am talking about the part of your mind that works to hurt you. And people call it different things. Some people call it the ego, some people call it subconscious, some people call it hell, some people don't have a name for it but are just mad that it exists. Whatever it is, it's always trying to take us out. If you're up at 2:30 in the morning thinking about the things you need to get done next week, even though it's true those things need to get done and you're behind, it's fact bending, man. telling you the time is the false context, telling you about them. Then your brain is charging away like, you remember that, it's true, but it's not true, because it's not the right time to tell you about it. There's no way that's going to help you. It's just depriving you of sleep you need. If you are constantly being drenched in memories from a decade ago about big mistakes you made, there's no truth in it. There's no, hey, listen, go back and fix that if it's beyond fixing. It's just about making you miserable. But people hold on to it and they're like, oh, but it's true. I can't just ignore it because it's true. It's not true. The times when our minds are actually trying to do interventions on us and stop us from dysfunctional behaviors, they do exist, but they're rare. Most of the time, it's just fact bend after fact bend after fact bend, and your mind will be just as happy to lie to you as long as it could make you miserable. I would check that out, man. Just if you could just scrutinize your thoughts a little bit with that in mind. Maybe it's not accurate, maybe it's not true, but I am starting to lean toward this idea that truth and love make the best combo. And it certainly does change which crap you put up with from your mind.